What's up, everybody? How's it going? This is the Anicast, and in today's episode, instead of doing a regular podcast episode, we're going to be reviewing the Star Wars Visions. If you don't know what that is a collection of different studios that Disney kind of commissioned to do some anime episodes through. Those are big budget, big time studios like Studio Colorado, Kamikaze Doga, Studio Trigger, Kinema Citrus. So all of them are really big, and as we break down, we'll kind of let you know what other works they have done, so you kind of know who we are talking about. The idea of this review is that we're going to be talking about a not spoiler part, and then we're going to let you know when we're actually going to jump into spoiler. I'm hoping we can actually break down all of them and kind of tell you guys our opinions based on what we've seen and everything. So we're trying to do this as thorough as possible, but I understand there are some people that haven't watched it, so we'll tell you our overall opinions with no spoilers first, and then we'll let you know when we're ready to jump into spoilers. So with me, we have my good friend Falcon. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm ready to review these. I'm
right. Me too.
Happy for some and happy for not happy for some, but all of them I enjoyed.
Yeah, definitely. There was a little bit to enjoy with every one of them. But before we even begin to talk about the episodes themselves, I want to have a little complaint here that I hate the logo that they chosen for the Star Wars Visions. I think it's really lazy, and I really don't like the way that it looks. It's a really ugly font. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what happens, because like typically with Star Wars they have like a cool like design and everything, and they're always on brand with like the rest of the Star Wars stuff and everything. Even when you look at things like the different episodes or even different shows that they have done, they kind of still stay within that kind of sort of stuff. But for Visions, they chosen like this weird font that looks like it was done with like paint or something like that. And it is good.
It's strange.
It's really ugly looking. I'm sorry. So I want.
Have you seen it in the Japanese one though?
The
Japanese version actually looks pretty cool.
That's probably what
doesn't
happened.
Translate.
It does look pretty cool. Yeah, it does look, and I think what it is because it's supposed to be kind of like that, like font of like handwritten or something like that, like calligraphy or something. It is way better than whatever they tried to do for the English one. It doesn't translate well. I think what they could have been done is they could have just left it in Japanese and this as a subtitle in English to put Visions down below or something like that.
They definitely should have.
Some anime do that, where they leave the stuff in Japanese, but then down below they have like an English translation to it.
Attack on Titan has it like that.
Yeah. A lot of anime do it, so it is just weird. Or maybe just leave it in like a style of the other Star Wars. You know, use the Star Wars font. You know, it's already well known. Or like, you know, the subtitle of like episode whatever, and it's like a kind of like a type of font. It just doesn't translate well. The Visions doesn't really translate well as far as like what it looks like. I think it looks really like lazy and poorly designed. But yeah, that's just my opinion on that. There, it doesn't look the same, and I know Disney can do better than this. At least they have the budget to do better than this. So I'm done knocking on the title. So as I mentioned before, this is a compilation of different studios. I believe they hired 7 different studios to make 9 different episodes. All of them are significantly different from each other. There's no pattern or style of storytelling or anything like that. They really just went ham and did whatever they wanted with the episodes. You can tell each and every one of them, even the ones that were done by the same studio, like Studio Trigger did 2, for example, and both of them are very different from each other, and including the art style and direction. They're still like significantly different from each other.
Yeah, I actually didn't even. I purposely didn't pay attention to what studio did it because I kind of wanted to play a game with myself to be like, "Hey, is this the studio that made this anime?" I didn't even realize that it was 7 studios. I thought it was each a unique studio, and then when I came back and saw that the same studio had done 2 different ones, I was like, "Oh, wow, okay." That's fair.
Yeah,
Guess.
right. They did a pretty good job as far as like choosing. One thing that I will say is, although I didn't particularly like all of the episodes, and I do have my nitpicks for each one of them. I do like that the art direction really much fits the story that they convey in like the episode. Like there are some that I'm like, oh man, this is really cartoony, but then like the episode is like a lot more lighthearted or something like that. So like
Right.
it really fits well with what they were trying to like show and everything. So at least in that direction, I don't feel like they did a bad job as kind of like showing it or anything like that. I think it was pretty well done. Yeah, I don't have much to say on the non-spoiler section. It's really hard to talk about this without really spoiling them.
Right. Most of the episodes also have a different runtime. So some of them are shorter, 12, 13, 14 minutes. And then there's a few that are 20 minutes.
Right, yeah. Some of them are like full episodes. Like I would say like a full anime episode, if you will. But then some of them are only like, I guess what you would call a short, about like 10, 15 minutes.
Right.
I think there is one. I think one of the very first ones is only like 10 minutes or something like that. And then some of them are a lot longer than that. So it's definitely not like a pattern as far as what you see and everything. But it's also very interesting to see what they picked. One nitpick that I'll say right off the bat for all of them, which is kind of was a gripe that I had for each one of them, is I was expecting them to kind of explore other areas of Star Wars, but they very much stayed on the Jedi side of things. I'm disappointed about it because you look at something like The Mandalorian, where it definitely shows that you don't need Jedi to explore a good Star Wars story, and somehow all studios, all episodes, they all stuck with like the Jedi thing. They all have Jedis as the protagonist. They all have Jedis as kind of like the team. And I was like, well, not Jedi, but at least Force users, and that really kind of annoyed me a little. Where I was like, I mean, come on, like the Star Wars universe is super big, and they're gonna focus so much on like the Force. I just felt like they could, using anime as a different medium, they could have definitely had like different areas of Star Wars, the Star Wars universe, that would have been equally enjoyable.
I agree, but I also would like to know what exactly were they told? What direction were they given? How much freedom were they given? Because I felt that a couple of them were like throwing specific things in because they were like, oh, this is Star Wars. Look, we're Star Wars for sure. We're Star Wars. I promise you, we are.
Yeah. I don't know if that was their own thing or anything, because from what I have heard in some others interviews and that kind of stuff, it looks like they did give them a lot of freedom as far as like what they were trying to do with the Star Wars. These are non-canon, by the way, so they really just let them kind of do what they wanted to do. It's really just I don't know if they told them that they should do like a Jedi thing or like a Force thing, but I know they let them do a lot of the stuff. It's more like alternate storylines, what if scenarios, that kind of stuff.
Right.
So yeah, because a lot of them are very much like you could easily put them somewhere in the timeline of Star Wars, because they do give you plenty of clues of where this happens and everything. But yeah, I know they did give them a lot of freedom to do, because these weren't intended to be like part of the Star Wars lore or anything like that.
It's definitely a non-canon. I did see that. I will, whenever we do go into the spoiler section, I will talk about what specific episodes where there was one specific episode where I felt like they were like trying way too hard to link things to Star Wars, and it was a little silly, and it kind of bothered me. I'm gonna rant on that one.
I think I know which episode you're talking about.
But there were in other episodes, there were some nuances that they caught that are like, those are, as a big time Star Wars fan, those are huge Star Wars things. So whenever they caught those nuances, I was always a little bit happy to see that.
Yeah,
So
there's a difference between doing a nudge to like, hey, this is the thing from the Star Wars universe versus showing your face. There is one episode, and I think we're talking about the same episode. I don't know yet or not, but it was really like really in your face, really like, oh, we're in the Star Wars universe, or whatever. And I was
hey
kind
guys,
of
did you know it's Star Wars?
right. Yeah, it felt almost like Ready Player One, the anime kind of thing, where it was like it was so in your face, so like you have to know that it's Star Wars, even though it's obvious that it is, because that's what it was made for and everything. Some of them are very artistic, like they really put their heart and soul into the project.
For real.
I you can tell like. Because especially, I really want to just jump into the spoilers, but there's one that I really love the artistic value for it, because I knew exactly what they were trying to do, and I feel like they really, for the most part, pulled it off. There are some that almost felt like episodes of the Clone Wars or something. Like they very much like we know you're Star Wars fans. We know you know the lore, so here's just an episode of like a continuation of the storylines and everything, and it really much feels like you're just watching an episode of Star Wars anime or something.
Right.
So
there were some of them that I was like, I really want this to become an entire series. I'll watch season 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, definitely. So as you can tell, we really did enjoy the series. Check them out if you haven't already. They are on Disney Plus. Of course, you have to pay for that service. I think you can still get one of those promotions for like 2 weeks or something like that. I watched them in like 2 hours. They're not really long, so I think you should be able to watch all 9 of them in a row if you like to binge watch them. Again, not all of them are long or anything like that, so I personally feel like if you are like Star Wars and like anime, definitely check them out. It's really, really hard to talk about them without talking about spoilers, because there's only so much you can say without kind of going around and things or anything. So that's all I have for like non-spoilery. Check them out. I do say that as an anime fan and as a Star Wars fan, even the worst of the episodes is still kind of worth checking out. Because it is still, the Star Wars universe, and it is still fun to watch. You have any final non-spoiler words here?
No, I mean, I'm ready to get into the spoiler section too. Like, I do agree though, they are worth the watch. There's very few of them that we see any characters that we know. There's only one episode that I can remember a character that we knew from.
Yeah. And some of them are almost like they put a lot of homage to other things. Although now reading the descriptions, it does look that there's more to it than I had originally thought, which is interesting. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into spoilers here. So again, following announcement, we are jumping into spoilers now. And if you haven't already watched it, you've been advised that we're jumping into spoilers here. So the first episode is called The Duel. That one was directed by Takanobu Mizuno, animated by Kamikaze Doga. So if you guys don't know who that is, you definitely know JoJo, the JoJo series, Bizarre Adventure. So that's them. So it's interesting because I didn't really think that was the studio. I was like, which is the JoJo episode? I didn't know, but I
didn't either.
I really liked it, but I do have some nitpicks about it. So the episode itself, I'm not really want to go into like the what happens and breakdown of the episode or anything, but it has the style of a Kurosawa movie. It's like black and white, and the only thing that you see is the reds, like the red lightsabers or like blood or anything like that. So that's really like the style of it. My nitpick is I really don't like that they use 3D models for the main protagonist, and it's really jarring looking at the backgrounds are 2D. Everything is 2D, but then the protagonist and certain fights are like 3D animated, and at times it was like really. I don't know. It was taking me out of like the thing because I was just thinking I was like, oh man, I hated 3D. But because it's put in black and white, it's not like super in your face. But when you see it, it's like it's really hard to like forget it or anything. Which I liked that episode because it very much feels like it's in Japan or like a feudal Japan, but it also has like this like feel of Star Wars and everything. Like,
yeah, that threw me off at first, but then whenever I kept watching the episode, and I started to like it, and I went back and looked it up, and it is set in an alternate history, so it's like okay, there's a little bit more leeway I gotta give them.
Yeah, yeah. I think this reminded me of. So I don't know if I think you've seen this, but there is a set of figures of Star Wars that have a samurai or Star Wars thing. So this to me I guess it's meant to be like that pseudo Japan. Feudal Japan Jedi thing or something. It is because they have lightsabers, but they still use them as katanas. Like he literally draws the lightsaber from like a katana thing. Right. But they still use like the kyber crystals and everything because that is kind of like a plot point there where you see the kyber crystals and everything. And the fights are really
real quick.
Yeah, go
ahead. We are going full spoiler right now, so
we are full spoiler.
I'm allowed to say anything, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
He not only does he use the katana in the sheath and everything, he pulls it out and then uses the sheath as a second weapon after hiding it, making it look like he didn't have a weapon.
Yeah, right. And
that was cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
I really got into that moment.
Yeah, this one was pretty cool too because it's also a little bit over the top. Like when the enemy shows up, she has like an umbrella. Yeah, like a bunch of lightsabers just rotating or whatever, and that is like super anime. Like as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh man, this is such an anime thing. But I love that because it was like fucking crazy. It reminded me of like the Clone Wars with all the crazy weapons and everything, like the crazy lightsabers that you see. And I was like, it's still cool. Like I really liked it. And whenever they actually get into like the duel, because half of the episode is the duel that they're having, literally the name of the episode, between a Sith and the Ronin, and they're like just like fighting each other and everything, and you can see like the boards, and it really much feels like I said before, it doesn't really feel like a Star Wars universe, but it like in fact his lightsaber, the saber itself, it's shaped as a katana too, right?
Right, yeah, there's like 4 or 5 episodes that have them shaped like that.
Katanas. Yeah, right. Some of them definitely try to go for that like lightsaber aesthetic, which canonically speaking, there is a saber like that. The black saber, the black saber is also shaped as a katana too.
The one in The Mandalorian?
Yeah, that's also in that shape too, so it's not out of the possibilities, I guess, but I really liked it. I thought this was a great episode. I feel like this one was good to kind of like set the tone for like what the other episodes could be like. This one got my mind railing. I was like, oh man, if this is the first episode, I can't wait to see the next one.
Right.
And I don't know, this was just such a good episode to like start the series with, because it does have like, it feels really Japanese, but it also does very much feel like a Star Wars story. But yeah, it's just a cool what if kind of thing. I don't have any much to say about that. It's a great episode, I think.
This is one of those episodes that I was like, okay, I want to see a series of this right now. Like, show me more. What happens with Ronin afterwards?
Right.
He's got all of those crystals in his robe there. What's he gonna go do to get the next one?
Right, yeah, right. This one was really cool, and not only that, but like they even set up like the running gives one of the kyber crystals to one kid at the end. You're like, oh man, like is the kid is also a force user? Like, is that, like, does he feel the force on him? Is that why he gave him a kyber crystal? Or like there's like this one is a good episode, kind of like a setup for an actual anime, and I feel maybe that's behind the scenes. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. Maybe they are all this like, okay, if you do good, we may sign you up with a whole anime series or something. So honestly, this was just like pure fun. I really love this one. The action scene is superb. Like again, my only complaint is the 3D character models. At times, it's just kind of weird because the 2D backgrounds are so well done. Like it does have like that vintage style of anime. Does that make sense? Like it looks very like old and
it did for sure.
Yeah, and having that like black and white and everything, it's just really cool. I will be down if they did a whole show with this style. It's pretty cool. But I guess moving up with the number 2, this is where they kind of lost me all of a sudden.
Oh really?
Yeah, this one I did not like this one too much. So Studio Colorado is the studio that made this one. The name of the episode is Tatooine Rhapsody. This one is made, if you guys don't know Studio Colorado, they make Pokemon movies. That's what they do. They have made Pokemon movies. They have made movies like Whisker Away, or that type of more like I don't know. I didn't like the style of this episode too much. It was cool that they kind of deviated more into the other aspects of the world, I guess. Because this one focuses more on a kid who was a Padawan, and they're just more like rock stars, I guess now.
Yeah, he was a Padawan, and then shit happened, and he had to escape, and ends up running into a dude that's forming a rock band, and he's like, okay, I'll be in a rock band.
right, yeah. And I guess turns out that the kid that he joins the rock band with is actually a relative of Jabba the Hutt. So like the entire time they're like trying to run away from Jabba the Hutt and Boba Fett, and
because he's not one to be part of his crime group.
Yeah. So then they go back, I guess, and they have a weird, I don't know, this is like top anime right here, as far as like, if you think about it, it's like they go and they're gonna be like executed or whatever, and then they have like a rock concert, and they see that everybody's like excited about it.
Yeah, because he was gonna kill him, and he just the one dude, the one that's a relative,
right,
and didn't want to be in this crime family, and he was gonna kill him, and the kid, the Padawan that escaped, I forgot what his name is, but he's like, dude,
Jay.
Instead of killing him, you should let him play a rock song. You're gonna really like it. And
that was so weird.
It happens, and and Java's like flopping his tail to the beat, and Boba Fett's in it, and he's like bobbing his head a little bit. I mean, I thought it was good fun. It was definitely like, it was one of the episodes that I was like, all right, this was good. Don't need any more.
Yeah. To me, this one, I think my biggest thing is, this one to me was the episode where I was like, this one is too much in your face of like, oh look, we're in the Star Wars universe, and like showing Java and like Boba Fett and like all these like known characters.
I can see that.
Yeah, I just felt like it was like too in your face, as far as like, I didn't really like felt out of character for like Boba Fett or Java. So to me, like if they had just done like some other area where like maybe like do some references or something like that, like if they had mentioned Java or something, but it's not necessarily about that. I don't know. It felt like really weird to me.
I think it's silly to say it felt out of character for Boba Fett, because it's like, dude just bobbed his head a little bit. I mean, like, he can be quiet, brooding, badass, and still like a rock song every once in a while, you know?
Yeah, I don't know.
But a lot of people have been saying that. A lot of people have been saying they
really?
didn't like it.
Oh,
as a
I
Boba.
didn't know that. I haven't seen anything from anybody about this. I'm really going
That's
in
the
clear.
only one I heard of.
Oh, really?
Because I made sure I didn't look up stuff.
Yeah.
But whenever I was looking up something for the new Boba Fett show that's coming up,
Yeah.
it actually talked about the episode.
Interesting.
And like people are pissed off about him bobbing his head because that's not what he would do.
Yeah,
and
no.
I'm like, leave him alone. He can do what he wants.
Well, it's fine, but when you see him on, because they show him again on the Mandalorian show and everything,
Right.
so he's a hard ass. So I don't know, but anyway, it doesn't matter. To me, it was fine. It was not the worst of the episodes, but I felt like this one, it was just a little bit on your face as far as like, oh look, Star Wars universe, we have to do Star Wars stuff or whatever. But then like
I
they
felt
have
that
a
way
rock,
about the next one.
they have a rock star thing. Oh, you feel that about the next one? That's crazy. Oh, we are like the opposite on this then. Maybe there is a reason, and I can explain why I feel what I like the next one. So the next one is the twins. This one is made by Studio Trigger and directed by Hiroyuki Imaishi. They have done a lot of big stuff, but the bigger thing is the shows that they make are really over the top. Kill la Kill, Gurren Lagann, are some of the bigger names. Panty and Stocking. Like all of those shows that I mentioned are really, really over the top. So I already expected their episode. As soon as I saw Studio Trigger at the beginning of the episode, I was like, this is gonna be super over the top, and it really is really over the top. But I felt like that's really on brand with what they do on their anime already. So to me, it didn't feel like bad. It just felt like a natural progression of what they do already. So to talk a little bit about the episode, I guess they what do you call it? the Sith? I guess they made these twins, force sensitive twins, and I guess the idea is to use them to use them in a way like they can morph with like a suit that they wear with lightsaber, with like the kyber crystals, use them as a weapon kind of thing. And they really much know that from the get-go. Like they're aware of what they are and what their purpose is. And one of the twins, I guess, it's not happy with being used that way, but the other one is like,
no, he doesn't mind, but it's his sister. He's worried about his sister.
Right.
Shit that he sees.
Right, exactly. But the sister is like, oh, she's like 100% in. She's like, I know what I was born for, and I
110
the life mission to do it and everything. So where it gets really crazy is when they have their fight, because it's really, really over the top.
Yeah, it is.
Like the girl does morph. The girl does morph with half of the kyber crystal, and she gets like this 6 arms, like General Grievous from the Attack of the Clones. Attack of the Clones, is that what it is? Clone Wars. I'm sorry, Clone Wars. And like they have like this crazy fight. It's really insane. It's really like it's sort of like crazy. Like the lightsabers are like also like whips, I guess, like tentacle lightsaber things. And everything.
She goes nuts, man.
Yeah. But honestly, like if you seen like Kill la Kill, or in fact,
if I had known that, if I had known that it was the same studio as Kill la Kill, like I would have given it more leeway.
yeah. Like if you've seen Kill la Kill or Darling in the Franxx or any of the shows that they've done, like it's really much like it really fits just like the mold of what they do. So like to me, like going in, I saw that and I was like, oh, Studio Trigger, it's gonna be crazy shit. And yeah, like it's a really crazy episode. I just love that it goes like really crazy, because this one it felt like one of the like it felt so anime, like it just felt like really on the like the crazy anime bullshit that they do. And I liked it for that. I just liked it. But I can see the criticism. Like if you like, I guess it's just because it's all over the top and everything.
Well, no, it's not even that. There were two things that I really had a problem with.
Go for it.
So first off, is their Siamese twin Star Destroyer thing stupid? I think that's dumb. Like I get that you want to have that big, huge super laser and everything, but there's no reason that you need it to be Star Destroyers. With it being two Star Destroyers, like, it's uneven, it's just a really bad ship design. You only want to do that because you want to be like, we're Star Wars. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really get that vibe again. I just felt like they were given the freedom to do whatever they want. And they really
I just
wanted
didn't
to
like
go
the ship.
All out. The ship?
I didn't like the ship at all.
I thought it was crazy.
The power armor.
Yeah, the power armor. Honestly, the power armor, I thought it was just a nod to Kill a Kill.
Well, yes, that's true. Again, I didn't know that it was Kill a Kill at the time, but I didn't like the fact that it was like Darth Vader armor. Like, it literally, like, both of them looked 60% Darth Vader with like a little bit of like a switched color somewhere.
Right. That's hilarious to me.
It's nitpicky. It's very nitpicky. The also, why did they have an X-wing?
The nitpicky part for me is whenever he combines his lightsaber with the other kyber crystal, his lightsaber is like the entire size of the whole ship, and he just waves it and like to attack. That was like super easy. Even in my mind, I was like, all right, I know this is anime and I know this is Studio Trigger, but what the fuck did I just watch?
Really, like, and the way it blew up the ship too. It's like, okay, you're just trying to do the eighth movie again. Like, stop that.
Well, the biggest thing is they're breathing, and they're like with no helmet or anything. They're just out in space fighting too.
Yeah, and he just jumped into hyperspace. Like, I know you got force powers to protect yourself, but like, you just jumped into hyperspace, like standing on the like, you didn't even get blown off of the X-wing. Why was there even an X-wing in the Imperial ships anyway?
Right. That's true. That is funny. But I didn't have any nitpickings. I thought it was fine. I just knew that it was gonna be a crazy episode. I figured it was gonna be crazy.
I nitpicked the hell out of this one. I actually stopped watching the first day after this one.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah. Because I was a little like,
Interesting. No, the second one was the one that was for me like that. I was just kind of annoyed about it. I was like, whenever they started singing on the second one, and they were going to be like executed, and they start singing, I rolled my eyes so hard. I was like, oh my god, are you shitting me? I was just so annoyed about that episode. I was really, really annoyed about it. And it's not bad, it's a great episode, but I thought I was like, this is so stupid. Alright, so the next one that we have here is The Village Bride. This one was made by Kinema Citrus. To give you guys some idea of what they've done before, Codebreaker, Black Bullet, Rising of the Shield Hero.
That's a big one.
Yeah, that's a big one. Tokyo Magnitude 8.0. So they've really done like a really variety of different shows. Now this one was really interesting because although it does have a Jedi as kind of one of the protagonists, this one I really like because it does focus on like normal people with normal problems in like the Star Wars universe. And I really like this one because they do give you more of that Star Wars life kind of thing that is not, it just doesn't involve Jedi, although it does get resolved by Jedi.
Right, but I mean they're side characters, and like the planet is alive and special, and I really liked them leaning into that. It felt like they were leaning into Star Wars lore with the interesting planets and stuff.
Right. And this one also does like explore like the culture and like what they do and everything. This was a really good episode. This one felt like one of those that it could easily be its own anime, just like exploring like different worlds and cultures and everything. I really liked it. I don't think that it needs to be an anime, but I really appreciated everything that they did for like the story and everything. It was very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't actually ever think, oh man, this needs to be an anime, it needs to continue on or anything, but like I wouldn't be upset by any means if they did.
Yeah.
It was a really good episode. It was a pretty good battle too. I enjoyed the battle.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, threw his helmet off and like rocketed it into the ship. I thought that was really cool.
Oh, dude, that was pretty cool, right? Yeah, the dude starts sniping and then he runs out of bullets, takes off his helmet and throws it, and I was just like, well, that didn't do shit. And then the helmet just like rockets into the ship and exploded. That was like, that was pretty badass. That was like Star Wars shit right there. Like that felt
exactly.
Like, yeah.
That felt like Star Wars right there.
Yeah.
And they didn't say, oh my god, we're Star Wars, but
yeah,
it was Star Wars.
It wasn't like super in your face. The entire episode wasn't in your face at all, but it really felt like episode 1, where they were just like in the area, and you get to see like what they do in that culture, and you know, just kind of see them and everything. It's a great episode. I thought that it was cool. You know, it doesn't necessarily, like I said before, it doesn't need to evolve or anything. But this one was also one of the ones where I don't think that they could have done more with the episode. I don't think they went full ham with it or anything like that. But it was a pretty safe episode, if you will. They played it very safe.
Right. I feel that as well. There were 3 minutes, I would say 3 minutes, 4 minutes maybe, without dialogue in it. It just like they were just taking in the scene, and like it kind of helped it, but also it definitely felt like they were trying to play it safe.
Yeah, and it's fine. Don't get me wrong. There's some when you see them, you're like, oh, you know, it's cool that they are doing that. It's because it does have some like cinematography shots. Like there's one area that I actually liked at the very beginning, because you see them from the perspective of the Jedi who's looking at them, and they're like this guy carrying his wife or soon to be wife, and he's just like walking around nature, and they have this whole speech about like how they're one with the world that they live in and everything. All that stuff is great. I think that it gave it like time to breathe and time to relax. Because the other episodes, especially the episode before that one, was so over the top. This one just was calm and like showing and everything. So inoffensive in a way, but also like it could have done more with the Star Wars universe in this one. But yeah, it was a good 8 out of 10 episode. I think, like, not bad, not super fantastic or anything, but it was a good one, I think.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
So moving into the next one is the Ninth Jedi.
This was my favorite.
This one was really good, and it also makes sense what is going to be one of the favorite. Production IG has done a ton of anime. I mean, just to mention a couple of them that you may know. One that I know you've seen, it's Psychopaths.
Right. I mean, they not only have they done a ton, but they started like 20 years ago.
Yeah, right.
So they've done it for 20 years.
Yeah, they've done a whole lot of them. You know, they did the Attack on Titan Junior High show. They've done one that I've seen, but that's Blood Sea, which is really good. XX Holic is also a show that I actually like from that studio. So yeah, this one was really well done. And not only that, but this one falls very much into the Star Wars canon, like, very well. It's like it's a really interesting episode. I really liked how well it fit in the Star Wars universe. It reminded me of the game that they did not long ago,
Right, me too. I felt it.
Yeah, it really much felt like a really cool idea for for the anime. I forgot the name of the game. What is it called?
I don't remember it
Fallen
either.
Order. Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, and so this one, to give you guys some context on the episode, it's basically a Jedi who lives in this world with a bunch of kyber crystals. I think this is a kyber crystal mine, and he kind of wants to revive the Jedi Order. Of course, with having to send this chips to all other Force users, and like, hey, I'm trying to revive the Jedi Order. You're gonna get a bunch of Sith coming after you and everything. So that's very much what happens here. What I loved about this episode is the study of the lore of like the lightsabers, and there's this what do you call it? The guy that makes the lightsabers,
Sabersmith.
Yeah, Sabersmith that they show, and kind of the main protagonist, I guess, is, well, there's multiple protagonists in this one, I guess, if you want to say.
Right, but she is the title character, the ninth Jedi.
Yeah, and then you get that one other kid who looks like a very average Japanese high school student.
Oh, well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
She is the ninth Jedi. She
no, not she, but the guy who looks like very average looking or anything like that. And then you have her, and then she was cool. I like her, her design. I thought it was cool. I thought she was gonna be a not Force user at the beginning of the episode, because she turns off the lightsaber and it's transparent, it's translucent, basically. And she's talking
she was
about,
like, I'm not strong enough.
Yeah, right. And I guess like her Force abilities haven't awakened yet of the sorts or something like that. But
then go ahead.
She's getting chased by the what is she getting chased at? But I guess by the Sith at that point.
Hunters.
Yeah, the Hunters. The Sith aren't there yet. You don't see the Sith yet. And she's
the
just
hunters come in and kill the Sabersmith.
Exactly. And she's running, and there's like this really cool sequence that happens where she's like running in the motorcycle and everything. She like stops and then like uses the lightsaber, breaks the other motorcycle, and like flying and everything. It's a really cool. The whole chase scene is really well done.
Yeah, it's super cool at like 4 different parts during the episode.
Yeah, and then honestly, just like seeing the lightsabers when the one kid gets a lightsaber, it lights up blue and everything. I was like, oh, this is the first time I hold a lightsaber or whatever. And then
also the Sabersmith himself, he knows like some special way to make the sabers and like use the kyber crystal, so it detects what, like, if you're a dark evil person, your saber is going to turn red. If you're a good person, it's going to turn blue or green or something like that. Which and it plays into it.
Yeah, apparently that's actually canon in the Star Wars comics that they did for I think episode 6 or 5, I forget. The one where I think it's 6, where Darth Vader captures Luke, and he takes his lightsaber, and he's like, "Oh, I guess you learned how to build a lightsaber or whatever." In the comic, the lightsaber turns red because he's the one holding it.
Oh.
And then he gives it back to Luke, and it's green again.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. So I believe that's a reference to that part of the comic.
It might be, but there were 2 parts in the fight, like during the fight, because most of them end up being Sith. And then,
it was cool. I was, I think we all knew, right, going into the episode, when they like start talking about the Sith, I'm like, one of them is gonna be a Sith. But then, like, when all of them turned out to be Sith, and I was like,
oh crap,
holy shit, you're in real trouble. Because I looked at the guy with the long hair and the beard, and I was like, that guy is gonna be the Sith. that guy gotta be
Right.
the Sith, right? And then
Right.
like, yeah, I think that they did like a fake out because it was, like oh yeah, this is the Sith or whatever. But then like everybody turns out to be a Sith. You're like, holy shit, no. And yeah, it was a great
One of them,
episode.
as he's fighting, his saber turns from red to purple.
Purple, yeah, right.
And then, as the main character, she is fighting, the one that we thought was not force sensitive yet,
Right, yeah.
or something. Hers turns green all of a sudden.
Right, yeah. And then
I got super excited when hers turned
yeah,
green.
dude, yeah, it was fun. Yeah, I was hoping that it was gonna turn like a different color, like yellow or something else. But it's still cool. Like I don't care about the color too much. But I was like, oh, what if it turns into like yellow or black or something? I don't know. I was just fantasizing. But then like, whenever the guy with the purple lightsaber, he stops and he talks about how he let the dark
He
side
let the
of
other
the
ones
force
cloud him.
Yeah, they like let influence it. That's also a canon thing from like the Star Wars mythos. I think there's been other force sensitive users with purple lightsabers that also like they use the dark side of the force to like push themselves and be stronger, but they're still like light side users and everything. So I love that episode. This is definitely one of those that it could 100% be a show, and I will.
It needs to be. It needs to be. It absolutely needs to be a full length show because like I need that. Like, if this is the only one that does it, I'll still be happy.
Right. Yeah. This one is the. I will say this one and then another one later on are the two closest ones to like the Star Wars mythos. Like it really follows so much of the Star Wars stuff that it should be a part of the Star Wars lore. I just love them so much.
Another thing is whenever I was talking about the small nuances that like it's a Star Wars thing, but if you weren't a Star Wars fan, you wouldn't know it was a Star Wars thing. I've got a bad feeling about this.
Oh yeah, right.
There's like 6 of the episodes that have someone say, "I've got a bad feeling about this."
Right.
And I'm pretty sure this is one of the ones. And then they also have the dry, sarcastic droid humor.
Right, with the one robot that is kind of waiting, and also the other the robot that is gonna be driving her to the planet.
That's the one. That's the one I meant.
I thought you were talking about the other robot that is they're all the Sith and the one kid they're waiting for the lightsabers.
Oh that robot.
The other he's also sarcastic as fuck, like just waiting there or whatever. Which turns out that he's not actually a robot. He's the
the
other
dude.
Jedi. Yeah, it was a cool twist too. I didn't imagine a human would fit in that thing. So he shows up. I was like, that was weird.
I was like, oh, here we go.
Right? Yeah. That was cool. I liked it. Yeah, easily one of the best. This is a 10 out of 10 episode.
I want to go watch it again right now.
All right. So the next one is Toby, which is animated by Science Saru. They've done a lot of cool work as well. I don't think I need to go in detail about them. But this episode, kind of what it is a marriage between Astro Boy and Star Wars. In fact, Toby is the name.
100% looks like Astro Boy.
Well, Toby is the name of human Astro Boy. That's his human name.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So this is like and the professor that it creates him looks just like the professor from Astro Boy. So this is just kind of like a love letter to sci-fi, Japanese sci-fi and Star Wars, like a combination kind of thing. I don't really have much to say about this one. This one I wasn't too into. Like I watched it and I was like, it's fine. I'm just,
I actually had a little bit of a nitpick with this one. So he, like the Sith guy says to him later on. Okay, so basically what happens is old dude's Jedi and his droid TOB1, who later becomes Toby, because he's a real boy now, guys. Pinocchio. So he wants to be a Jedi, but he's a droid. And then apparently he later on actually becomes a Jedi. And then when the Sith comes down to the planet to fight him, he literally is like, a robot Jedi, what? And I was like, yeah, I'm on the same team. A robot Jedi, what?
Well, I don't know. Does he ever use the Force?
I don't know. I would have to watch the episode.
Yeah, I don't think he actually uses the Force. I just think he was a robot that used the lightsaber.
He uses the Force, but I think it's a fantasy.
Yeah. I don't think he uses the Force during the actual fight, but I don't know. He may be able to. Yeah, but I don't recall him using the Force. I just recall him fighting, and at the end, finally, what he did do is he went all full transformer, and like the little robot that was his friend combined with him, and like propelled him and like chopped the other guy off.
Ultron, with a lightsaber.
Yeah, this one was. This one I just felt like it was just like a love letter to Japanese and sci-fi. That's pretty much what it was. Like, I didn't take this one too seriously, so like. I thought it was a pretty boring episode overall. Like, then I was just like, it's fine, I'll just watch it. But I wasn't like, oh man, this episode is the best one or anything like that.
Yeah. I wasn't super enthused.
Yeah. I saw it and I was like, it's fine, I'm not gonna skip it. There was one that I really almost skipped half the way through because I was getting annoyed about it. Yeah. We haven't even got through it yet.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. You'll see it. We'll talk about it in a second. Now it's just annoying me.
Alright.
Alrighty. So the next one is The Elder. This one is done also by Studio Trigger. This one is the good episode of Studio Trigger. It very much feels like also like an episode of just Star Wars universe. There's a Padawan and his master, and they're just going out to a planet. They found a Sith. They felt the Force, the disturbance of the Force, so they go out there and they go to find out what happened. This one is very much also in like artistic sense, like it's like more grayish in colors, and then when they use the lightsabers, it's like all bright and everything. So I really like the episode. I thought it was great. I really don't have much to say on this one. I think that it was just a good episode. I would be okay if they did this one as a TV show too. It just makes sense, I think.
I really did. I really liked the episode as well. I felt that they did a really good job at making us feel like him and his Padawan had been traveling together for a long time. His Padawan very clearly looks up to him. And he's older, but his Padawan's not, and they talk about the age a lot.
Right. Yeah.
And I think the Elder.
Yeah.
Himself.
Mm-hmm.
His weapons were interesting because they were both really short.
Yeah, right. They were like a kodachi, like a short knife, kind of. I guess it's something between a knife and a katana. So it's like a shorter weapon and everything. And his fighting stance was very much that of somebody that needs to go fast or whatever. And,
exactly.
And the whole episode talking about age. The whole episode was about age and passage of time, because even at the very end when he kills the Elder, the Padawan is like, oh, you're so strong, you were able to defeat him. He was like, no, I didn't defeat him. The passage of time defeated him. Nobody's invisible forever. Nobody's strong forever. That was like a great episode of Star Wars universe lore. From beginning to end, it feels like such a Star Wars adventure. And the best part is, this one felt just like if it was an anime, this will just be one of the episodes, continuing their storylines or whatever. So I really thought it was good. I thought it was a great episode, but I really don't have much to say as far as the intricacies or anything, because it will feel like repeating some of the other good episodes. But this one and the Ninth Jedi and the first one were my top 3, I think.
Yeah, and this one wasn't very long, and it was one really succinct storyline. Like the Ninth Jedi had like 4 different things that went on. This was just the one thing.
Right, yeah, yeah. It was just like the one thing going on, and it was really well made. I think it was one of the good ones that I like. Yeah, you do it.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, great episode, great episode. So the next one that we got going on is, sorry, I lost my list here. The one that I did not like, Lop and Ocho.
Was it the animals?
Yeah, it was the animals. So, so this one went full furry, and I think I talked previously that that I'm not really. Actually, you guys probably haven't listened to that episode, but I don't like talking animals. I hate talking animals.
He's terrified of them.
I'm not terrified. It's just they annoy me. They really do.
They haunt his dreams.
Basically, anyway, no, I just, this one just kind of annoyed me. Like, I thought it was a good setup, but then it very much, like, this one just dragged on too long too. This one was one of the longest episodes, I think.
It was like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it dragged on, and like the first was interesting. So there's this clan. This one's also like what if scenario. They're a really Japanese inspired Star Wars universe.
It felt feudal, but also not.
Yeah, because there's like the obviously the Star Wars technology and everything. So the clan leader and his daughter, they're like walking around, and they find this slave girl who is a furry, and they adopt her as their daughter. And as time goes on, I guess they grew up together and everything. Anyway, so the Empire is trying to take over the planet, and instead of fighting, they just figure they will cut a deal to the clan lord of the planet or whatever, who refuses the deal. But the daughter is like, no, we gotta do this. This is good for us and for our power or whatever. Anyway, so later on down the line, the clan leader reveals, I guess, that they are actually like, again, not Jedi, but I guess like descendants of Jedi. Yeah, and he does have like they have a lightsaber and everything. So he gives it to the adoptive furry daughter.
Saying furry.
No, because she's furry. She's full furry. She's like a rabbit human thing.
She is, but it's just weird connotation. It makes me feel weird.
No. It's not weird connotation. She is full furry. She's like androgynous. Is that the right word?
I don't know.
Andro-human rabbit thing.
Anthropomorphized.
Yeah, that thing. Yeah. Anyway, so I wasn't into this episode at all. I was really annoyed about it. The entire time I was watching, I was like, "Why would you do this to me?"
You were just sitting there going, "That fucking bunny."
Yeah, I was like, I almost like quit watching it after like.
I was wondering if this was that one that you were saying.
Yeah, like I stopped. I had to pause. I paused it. I turned around, I started working on something else, and I was like, maybe I should just stop after this one.
I actually liked this episode.
Yeah.
But the end of it kind of pissed me off, because like this is a one shot and they didn't resolve the thing, and like it felt very much like find out next time on Dragon Ball Z, except there is no fucking next time.
Yeah, no, this one was just kind of annoyed at the end. I was so annoyed because like I said, I stopped watching it and I was like, okay, well, let's finish this shit. And I turn around and they're like, I guess they're now fighting or whatever. And like you said, like the episode doesn't even resolve itself. So it really just pissed me off. I was kind of
like your sister's a hoe. The end.
Yeah, like, oh, that's it. And then I guess he's like, oh, I'm gonna get her back or whatever. I don't know. I just that one I wasn't too thrilled about it. I'm not super into that episode overall. Like the art style or animation or anything. The furry shit I wasn't into.
I liked it. If there was gonna be a second one that resolved it, I would have liked it a lot more. But I was upset at the end. Yeah. I was fine with it until the very end.
Yeah. All right. Well, it is what it is. So the last one was Akakiri. This one was pretty good. I actually liked this one. It very much felt at the beginning more of an episode without Jedi, which is more like, oh, we have to go from point A to point B, and
Yeah.
and you have this romantic subplot going on in the background and everything. Turns out that one of the guys that are part of the group is a Jedi or whatever,
Right.
and so they
Baki.
yeah, and so they go to the actual place that they're supposed to go, and there's this big confrontation and everything. Which, by the way, all of these have like a good happy ending except for the last two. And this one,
The
the
last
last
one with the bunny didn't even have an ending.
yeah, okay, yeah, that's what I said. There's no ending on that one. But Akakiri is the only one where the ending just fucking blows. Like it's a good blow.
Yeah. It's really
like,
sad.
You think that it's gonna be like, oh, they're gonna beat the Sith, and and he's gonna save the day, and they're gonna be together. But no, the girl dies. In order to save her, he joins the Sith. They revive her, and then he tells us that he's living with the bad guy, with the Sith.
Right.
That one was
form a force dyad, and he's like the apprentice. He joins her as her apprentice, and then saves her through the dyad. But then is like, "Peace out. I'm a Sith now."
Yeah, right. And he just kind of leaves and everything. So I don't know. This one was cool. I don't necessarily think that we need more of this one. But I thought that it was really well directed. Like the shots of like the desert, Star Wars looking place, and the battle was really good and everything. But I think I was burned out at this point from the other ones. So like after Love Ocho, I was just like, I just want to finish this, and this one is just not hitting me good. And it was a great, like the animation was great, the fight was really good, and the story was pretty decent, especially at the end where like when she dies and everything, you're like, oh man, this is emotional shit.
They like it. This is another one that was like 12 minutes long or something, and they got that emotion in there real quick.
Yeah, right.
Made you feel for them.
Yeah, so especially at the end where you have to make tough choices. You have to you either sell your soul to the devil so they can revive your girl or whatever. And it's pretty cool. It's a great episode. Definitely much better than the other one. I wouldn't knock on that furry one. No, it really just annoyed me. That one I was just like, like, why don't you just have Chewbacca then? If you're gonna do a furry, just have Chewbacca or something. I would have been better. It would have been better with him. I don't know. Yeah, you can tell I was very disappointed about it.
I knew you were gonna be too. As soon as I saw the bunny become part of their family, I was like, "Oh, Christian's gonna be upset."
Yeah, I was annoyed. I was very annoyed about it. Very much so. But yeah, I mean, we went through all the episodes there. I don't think I have anything else going on that end. Did you have anything else on the episodes? Anything you want to say about them?
Not really. I mean, I definitely didn't have a bad feeling about it.
Yeah,
I liked them all. I was very nitpicky about two of them, but I did enjoy every single one of them. I didn't have any that I wanted to turn off like you did in the bunny one.
Which one was it? Oh, none of them make you want to stop watching?
Yeah, none of them made me want to stop watching, but
okay, I missed
some of them. Whenever it ended, I was like, I don't need to see more.
Right. There were some of them there I was like, oh, this is fine. This is just fine. What they did is fine and everything. I don't know. I think that some of them, they just played it too safe. And some of them were just bananas with it. So, like, there was, like... Yeah, there were some of them where I was like, you could have done more. You could have done a little bit more, and it would have been fine. But then I was watching some of them, and I was like, oh, this one's just kind of... It was just kind of boring. like the The second one, that was to me, that was like, it was fine, but it was also like the music and they start dancing and singing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna see if I can find a petition online that I can sign for the Ninth Jedi to become a show.
The Ninth Jedi, that particular was your favorite one.
Yeah, I need it. I need a show.
Yeah, I like the Duel, the Ninth Jedi, and I think the Elder. Those were my 3 favorite ones. I say like that's peak right there. I like that.
I would agree. Actually, Those are my top 3, but it's the Ninth Jedi, and then the Duel, and then the Elder.
Yeah, the Ninth Jedi was good. I think that one was the ones that makes more sense for like a continuation. I just like the Duel because it felt like such a what if scenario that I will actually kind of. It's a tolerable, like you will definitely watch the show, kind of thing. Like if that was a thing that was like, oh, that's a cool what if kind of thing. Yeah, I will be.
Yeah, I would like all 3 of them to be shows, full length shows.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, thank you everybody for joining into this hour. It's funny because I was telling Falcon that I wanted to do this 30-minute review of it, and you're like, "No, I have a lot to say about this." And I was like, "You sure?" And I was like, "I feel like 30 minutes will be enough." And really,
I have feelings.
Yeah. So thank you everybody for coming by. This should be airing after you have just heard us talk about how we want to talk about this particular thing and everything. So let us know in the comments down below if you have seen the show. Did you like it? You didn't like it? How did you feel about all of them? Because again, there's 9 of them, and all of them feel significantly different from each other. Especially the ones that were made by the same studio. Like studio was Science Zero did 2, and Studio Trigger did 2. And all of them just look and feel different from each other. Not one of them feels like the other one. So I thought that was cool. I appreciate like the variety on what we saw here. But yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe and everything else, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
See you guys.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you have enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, or check out one of the other videos here. This is the suggestion. Thank you so much for watching again, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.